Master your mind. There comes a moment in your life when you look in the mirror and realize no one is coming to save you. That pain you hide, the doubt you carry, the fear you bury deep, it's all on you. The world doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't feel sorry for you. Life will crush the weak and test the strong, and only those who master their mind will rise. Your thoughts are not your enemy, but if you don't control them, they will chain you down. Discipline is not a choice. It's survival. You think motivation will come save you? No. It's about waking up and doing what needs to be done, even when you're broken, even when no one believes in you. Because deep inside, there's a fire. It might be small now, but if you fuel it with purpose, with pain, with hunger, it will burn through every obstacle in your way. You are the only one who can rebuild your life. So stop crying, get up, master your mind, and the world becomes yours. Suffering is your training. Solitude is your sharpening stone. And silence, that's where the real warriors are born. Every battle you'll ever fight in life begins and ends in your mind. It's the command center, the throne, the forge where strength is created or where weakness is allowed to grow. Your mind is your most powerful weapon, not your body, not your voice, not your resources, but that quiet voice inside your head that either pushes you forward or holds you back. If you don't train it, it will betray you. If you don't feed it strength, it will consume you with fear, doubt, and hesitation. The world is built to break the unfocused. Every distraction, every comfort, every easy way out is a test. And if your mind isn't sharp, if it isn't strong, you will fold every time pressure shows up. That's why the greatest men in history weren't the loudest. They were the most focused, the most disciplined, the most mentally bulletproof. Because they trained their minds like warriors train their swords, with intensity, with purpose, with no excuses. Training your mind doesn't mean thinking positive thoughts all day. It means building a fortress around your focus. It means doing what needs to be done whether you feel like it or not. When you're tired, you still move. When you're doubting yourself, you still show up. When you fail, you don't cry, you learn, you adapt, you get stronger. That's mental strength. Most people wait for the right moment, the right emotion, the perfect situation. Winners create the moment. They don't need the perfect time. They just need the mission. You must be obsessed with mastering yourself. Not controlling others, not showing off, but conquering that voice inside you that says you can't. Because once you crush that voice, nothing on this planet can stop you. Every day, your mind is either getting sharper or softer. There is no neutral. Every time you hit snooze, every time you skip that workout, every time you choose comfort over discipline, you're teaching your mind that weakness is okay. And weakness compounds. It builds up quietly until one day you look in the mirror and don't even recognize the person staring back. You don't get strong by accident. You don't build an unbreakable mind by scrolling all day or living for cheap dopamine. You build it by going to war with yourself, by forcing yourself into discomfort and thriving in it. You choose the hard road, not because it looks good on a quote, but because the hard road makes you unshakable. Mental training is more than just saying affirmations in the morning. It's about placing yourself in uncomfortable situations on purpose and choosing to rise. It's about reading when everyone's out partying. It's about waking up early when no one's watching. It's about holding yourself accountable when you slip, not making excuses, not blaming anyone else, but owning your actions like a warrior. When you start living that way, something changes inside you. You start to trust yourself. You start to realize that you can walk through storms and not break. That's real power. Not the fake confidence people wear on the outside, but that quiet, solid belief that no matter what comes, you'll handle it. You want to be great? Then stop looking for comfort and start training your mind like it's life or death. Because one day, it will be. When your back's against the wall, when you've got nothing left, when the pressure's so high you can't breathe, it's your mind that decides if you stand or collapse. It's not about talent. It's not about luck. It's about preparation. And if you haven't trained your mind to suffer, to endure, to lead, you'll crumble. But if you put in the work, if you've faced your demons in silence, if you've walked through fire on purpose, you'll rise. You'll rise with scars, with stories, with the kind of power no one can take from you. This world doesn't reward potential. It rewards the relentless. So be relentless with your mind. Read every day. Learn from pain. Seek discomfort. Cut off the noise. Do hard things. Wake up early. Respect your word. Stop running from pain. Chase it. Pain is the gym for your brain. Resistance is the weight, and consistency is the formula. You want mental strength? then build it. No one else can do it for you. No mentor, no motivation video, no perfect routine. Just you. You versus your excuses. You versus your past. You versus the weak version of yourself you swore you'd leave behind. Master your mind and you master your life. Everything else, success, wealth, peace, respect, it all follows the man who has conquered his mind. And if you haven't yet, don't wait. Start now, because every second you wait, weakness grows louder. And the world doesn't stop for the unprepared. Train your mind relentlessly, because in the end, it's the only thing you truly own. Most people live their lives chasing motivation like it's some magical fuel that will finally make them do what needs to be done. They wait for the perfect wave of inspiration, the right mood, the sudden spark that'll move them to act. And they might feel it once in a while, that temporary fire, that short-lived burst of energy, but it dies just as quickly as it comes. Motivation is a feeling, and feelings are fickle. They come and go with the wind. But discipline, that's something entirely different. Discipline is built. It's not based on how you feel. It's based on who you've chosen to become. Discipline is cold. It doesn't care about how tired you are, how unfair life is, or how much you want to quit. It shows up no matter what. When you live by discipline, you don't negotiate with yourself. You don't sit there in the morning wondering whether you should go to the gym or whether you feel like doing the work. You just go. Because you said you would. You promised yourself. And that promise means more than comfort. That's what separates the weak from the powerful. The ones who do what they said they'd do, even when every part of them wants to take the easy way out. Discipline is a quiet force. It doesn't make noise. It's not glamorous. It's the alarm going off before the sun rises and you getting up anyway. It's grinding through the boring parts, the painful parts, the thankless parts, because you're not doing it for applause. You're doing it because that's who you are. There's this illusion that successful people are just always motivated, that they love every second of the grind, that every workout, every late night, every business move is made out of some kind of joy or passion. But that's a lie. They're not superhuman. They get tired. They doubt. They want to quit just like you. The only difference? They do it anyway. That's discipline. It's saying yes to your goals and no to your feelings, because your goals don't care how you feel. They just care whether or not you showed up. Every day you delay, every time you wait for motivation to rescue you, you're giving the enemy, weakness, the upper hand. You know what's stronger than motivation? Habit, routine, repetition. When you don't rely on mood or energy, but you create systems that demand action, that's when the game changes. Discipline doesn't need hype, it just needs commitment. It's not about being intense for a week, it's about being consistent for years. The world is full of people who started strong, full of motivation, full of fire, but most of them fell off. Life hit them. Comfort seduced them. Hard times scared them. They lost the spark. But the ones who kept going, the ones who kept pushing through the dark, who stuck to the routine when no one was clapping, who sacrificed what felt good for what was right, those are the ones who win. The truth is harsh, but necessary. Your future doesn't care about your feelings today. It only cares about what you do. Want to change your body? Motivation won't get you there. It might get you started, but it won't last when the soreness hits, when the scale doesn't move fast enough, when the results take longer than expected. Want to build a business? Be ready to work long hours when everyone else is relaxing. Want to be mentally sharp? You'll need to read when you're tired, study when it's boring, stay focused when distractions call your name. None of that is driven by motivation. It's driven by discipline, because you know why you're doing it. You've locked into your mission. And when the mission becomes everything, your emotions become background noise. That's what makes discipline so powerful. It gives you control. It removes the chaos of I don't feel like it and replaces it with clarity. You start acting like a machine. Not in a robotic, lifeless way, but in a focused, powerful, locked-in kind of way. Discipline gives you freedom. The freedom to build the life you want. The freedom to rise above circumstances. Because if you only move when you feel good, life will own you. But if you move because you've chosen to, you become untouchable. You gain momentum. And momentum destroys weakness. Think about every moment you didn't feel like doing something hard and did it anyway. That feeling afterward, that pride, that sharpness in your mind, that's what discipline rewards you with. Not just results, but identity. You start to become the person you admire, not by waiting for good days, but by conquering bad ones. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to love every second. You just need to refuse to quit every single day. Because in the end, motivation is temporary. Discipline is forever. Pain is not your enemy. It is your greatest teacher. It's the voice in the silence that tells you where you need to grow. It's the uncomfortable truth you try to avoid. It's the mirror that never lies. While most people run from pain, numb it, hide from it, or pretend it's not there, the strongest people, the ones who truly rise, lean into it. Because deep down, they know pain is part of the process. You cannot grow without it. You cannot transform by staying in comfort. Everything great, strength, wisdom, discipline, success, is forged in the fire of pain. Pain reveals who you are. It breaks the illusion of control. It strips you of ego and shows you what you're really made of. And if you listen closely, it teaches you the lessons you were never willing to learn when life was easy. Pain is the price you pay for becoming better. Every failure, every heartbreak, every setback you've ever faced wasn't just there to hurt you. It was there to shape you. But that shaping only happens if you face it head on. Most people break when life hits. They crumble because they were taught to believe pain is a punishment. But pain isn't here to punish you. It's here to prepare you. It's here to train you. When you're at rock bottom, when everything feels dark, when you feel like there's no way out, that's when you meet your true self. You realize you have more in you than you ever thought possible. But that version of you, that stronger self, only wakes up under pressure. Pain is the pressure, and pressure creates dynamite. You want mental toughness? Then stop avoiding pain. Stop crying when things don't go your way. Stop expecting life to be fair. It's not, and it never will be. Life is raw. Life is ruthless. But that's not a reason to quit. It's a reason to rise. Pain trains you for the fight. Every rep in the gym that burns, every lonely night where doubt creeps in, every door slammed in your face, that's your training ground. It's not the comfort that builds champions. It's the struggle. Pain gives you the opportunity to become more. It forces you to adapt, to think deeper, to move smarter. It teaches humility. It exposes weakness. And if you're willing to learn from it, it builds the kind of strength no one can fake. Look at the strongest people in the world, emotionally, mentally, physically. None of them got there without going through something. Real strength is born in chaos. Pain gave them wisdom, clarity, and edge. It carved away everything soft. But here's the key. They didn't just go through pain. They grew through it. That's the difference. Pain alone doesn't make you stronger. Learning from it does. Reflecting on it does. Standing back up does. You can let pain crush you, or you can let it refine you. It can be your prison or your path. The choice is yours. You might not be able to control what happens to you, the loss, the betrayal, the failure, but you can control how you respond to it. You can decide whether you'll complain or whether you'll rise, whether you'll quit or whether you'll fight, whether you'll be a victim or a warrior. Pain asks you one question. Who are you going to become because of this? And if you answer that question with strength, with patience, with resilience, you become unstoppable. Because once you felt real pain and didn't break, the little problems of life stop scaring you. The minor setbacks stop distracting you. You move with purpose because you've already walked through fire and survived. And here's a truth most people don't want to hear. The more pain you've endured, the more potential you have. Not less. More. Every scar is proof that you didn't run, that you stayed in the storm and came out the other side, that you fought. And every time you fight, you grow, you sharpen, you evolve. Pain shows you what matters. It clears the noise. It destroys the ego. It teaches you to appreciate things you once took for granted. It gives you depth. And depth is rare in a world full of surface level comfort seekers. So the next time pain shows up, don't run from it. Sit with it. Listen to it. Ask what it's trying to teach you. Let it mold you. Let it refine your vision. Let it make you relentless. You are not fragile. You are not weak. You were built for the storm. But only if you stop treating pain like the enemy and start treating it like your mentor. The mentor that doesn't lie to you, doesn't sugarcoat, doesn't let you stay small. Pain demands your evolution. You can either shrink or you can grow, but you can't do both. In the end, no one escapes pain, but the few who embrace it, learn from it, and rise with it, they become legends. They build a life most people only dream about. Not because they had it easy, but because they faced what most people run from. And in doing so, they became unbreakable. Let pain teach you. Let it push you. Let it make you better, because the life you want, the greatness you seek, is on the other side of the pain you're willing to endure. So now the choice is yours. You can keep running, keep hiding, keep numbing the pain, or you can stand up and face it like a warrior. Let every tear, every scar, every setback fuel your